Well, everyone, today I'm going to tell you a tale of how Warframe single-handedly killed my computer this morning and then forced me to repair it, causing irreparable mental scarring, and Warframe progress had to be put on hold. Now, let's go to our railjack to tell this harrowing story. So, just like any other morning, I woke up in bed with my dog jumping downstairs to give me kisses to tell me he had to go outside and need food. After taking care of my dog because he is the best boy ever, I went to go turn on my computer and record and upload and publish some Warframe videos. And then, that's when it happened. I turned on the power button for the computer. Made a weird beep, but nothing menacing, so I chose to ignore it. It started turning on, and then it hit me with an angry bootcode CPU fan error. And I was like, okay, last time I've had this error before. I got it the day I got back from vacation. It was saying it just couldn't read my CPU fan, but I went to check. I'm like, okay, no, my CPU fans, it's going at like a fast speed. Maybe it's just, a little borked right now. The AIO is maybe just bugging out a little bit because, I had this error before when I went on vacation and came back. I just, quickly restarted the computer and it just went away. So, I thought maybe that will happen again. I tried changing the settings, logging in, and things were good for then. Things were good. I discarded the changes, or I shouldn't say discarded the changes. I just reset, went back, started it up. Okay, everything was going fine. Went to boot up Warframe, logged into Warframe, and then, oh God, it happened. As I was trying to do anything in Warframe, my computer froze up and then just shut down. Oh God, the fan was not properly working, clearly. Something has clearly gone awry. Everything is on fire, my computer is emotionally, physically depressed, and it's seemingly fighting off thoughts of suicide. So I needed to quickly fix it and figure out what the hell was going on so that I could actually do videos and record. After an hour of messing with all of the cables inside for the AIO, the CPU fans, the radiator fan, like everything there. There's nothing directly plugged into the radiator, just like the AIO and fans, right? And motherboard. Anyways, after swapping out a bunch of cables, I got it to not work at all. And after messing around with the BIOS, I found out that while technically the fans were working, they were going at such a low RPM that it was clocking in that the CPU fan was erroring. But it still actually did technically detect a little bit of the fan, just it could not detect its RPM, right? Because it said RPM of fan, not applicable, right? So it knew something was plugged in, but it couldn't read the fans. And so I guess when it couldn't read the fans anymore, it just meant that they went so slow that my computer would overheat so quickly. So what pretty much happened was, booted up my computer, it was probably heating up while I was booting up, even because if they were going so slow that a game and just popping on Warframe made my computer kill itself, oh my God, that means that the CPU is just heating up because the fans are going so slow. And that is how Warframe single-handedly murdered my computer. It tried to overheat my CPU and make my computer kill itself. God damn it, Warframe. The solution to this was simple after making sure that I, couldn't fix it at home because I didn't have any replacement cables. And the cable that seemingly went out was the cable that was inherently built into the AIO, so I couldn't physically possibly replace it without cutting some cables, doing some soldering, and doing things that you really just shouldn't bother fucking with because it's not worth it at that point. So at the end of the day, I ran over to Memory Express, as I am a Canadian man who, well, our pretty much go-to thing of Micro Center, I think is the US equivalent, is Memory Express. It's, to me, in my general area, the go-to computer store that has all the computer parts where I always buy my computers, not an ad or anything. They're just like the place to go, right? Because, yeah, you never want to go to Best Buy. Things were always overpriced there. So before that, though, I invited a friend over because he said that he had a CPU cooler that may fit. We messed with that. It sadly was not the right socketing, and we tried it. It just couldn't latch on. I couldn't break it into place either, so that forcefully fitting it, so RIP. That was an attempt, but the Intel stock cooler had a different socket fit for it. My computer's a little too old, okay? It's like LG, i7-3930K, I think that's the 2011 LGA type socket, so yeah, nope. So I had to hop on over to Memory Express with him. We bought the cooler, ran home, installed it, and oh, thank God it was just the cooler that worked, and broke, I should say. I killed off the AIO, chucked it in the garbage, took the fans off because the fans themselves work fine. It's just that, like, the CPU AIO, the CPU AIO part where the cable was coming from didn't work anymore, it just fucking broke. So awesome, AIO itself is dead, but the fans that were attached to them for the radiator, right? Those were still good to go. So, hey, I have an extra fan now that I should probably put on the top of my computer, but my computer's so quiet now compared to when I had the old, like, H110 AIO. That was 7 or 8 years old, so I might just not bother. So, yeah, that was my lovely story of how I killed my computer with Warframe. It really sucked, but luckily AIOs are easy to replace. I'm sad that none of my like cable swapping and like socket swapping for any of that worked, because it was just not reading the AIO CPU fan speeds at all anymore, so it was just dead. No more. It was nada. Just killed itself. It was a GG. I think the true issue was like, it's just so old that either the cable itself, which just gave out, or it just can't properly read anything from that AIO, so it's just dead in the water, right? So either the AIO itself died or the cord died is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so RIP. It was like 8 years old, so honestly, not mad at that or anything. Good value, 10 out of 10. Would recommend. But I got a new one, and everything is good to go. Thank you all for watching. I was gonna upload a different video and post a different video today, but that said no because this happened. So thank you all for watching. Like, sub, favorite, and share this around if you'd be so kind. Check out my social medias like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch that I never stream on. It's there just in case. And of course, tell my dog he's a good boy on Instagram because he's quite the fluffy puppy. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.